Welcome to the 5 Napkin Burger Beer and Bourbon blog featuring us, the Happy Hour Guys. Today we're in Clermont, Kentucky, the home of Jim Beam, and we're going to do a little primer on whiskey tasting for you, hosted by none other than the great-grandson of Jim Beam himself, Fred No.
This little 4-step process that my dad, Booker No, taught me works pretty good.
By the way, that good-looking guy across the table from me is Mark. Oh, and the one next to him is Bernie Lubbers, who's a master ambassador for Jim Beam. And keep in mind, when we're tasting bourbon, there's no better or worse, just different. At this level, it's all good. One other thing, when Fred talks about his dad, he's talking about Booker No, the guy who's responsible for creating this. Wow. All right, let's get on with the tasting.
It's pretty simple, really. First thing you want to do is look at the color. You'll see different shades of amber. Some darker, some lighter. Your lighter colored glasses are going to be lighter flavored whiskeys. As they get deeper and darker in color, you're going to be more complex in flavor, usually meaning more age, longer time in the barrel gives it more color. Next thing, after that, I kind of, what's he going to teach me? But anyway, he did teach me something on nosing the bourbon. When you stick your nose into these glasses, part your lips. Don't keep your lips tightly closed, because if you keep your lips tightly closed, the way Dad explained it is, he talked in kind of wild. He said, you get too much alcohol up in your snoot. If you keep them lips and do that, you'll notice more alcohol goes up into your nose. Parting the lips during the nosing will greatly affect the way it smells to you. And then the next step, is the tasting. There's a little trick that my dad always did when he tasted. I call this tasting technique, and people have named it way before I came along, the Kentucky Chew. What you want to really do on your tasting part is to involve your entire mouth into the tasting. And so how Booker would involve his mouth, put the bourbon in your mouth and chew on it, like this. Damn, that's good. But what you want to do is get it on the roof of your mouth, the sides, all over your tongue. Because different parts of your mouth pick up different flavors. So you want to let your entire mouth pick up the flavor. Then when you swallow the juice down, the flavor that leaves behind, that's the finish. That's the 4th step on tasting the bourbon. Now, one thing I tell people, if you taste a bourbon and make a face, if you grimace, if it hurts you, cut it down to where it's pleasing to your palate. The water will actually open it up and make it more pleasant. If you want to add a splash of soft drink, it's okay. We've got no rules at drinking bourbon. My mom drinks her bourbon with ginger ale. I never saw my dad give her a hard time. So if that's the way you want to drink it, that's okay. As long as you're drinking the products I produce, I don't really care what you mix it with. As long as you're enjoying Beam, that's fine.
So a big thanks to Fred and all the great folks at Jim Beam for being such wonderful hosts and for making such great products. We expect you guys to apply these tasting principles the next time you try bourbon. Maybe at the bar at 5 Napkin. Thanks, Fred.
The toast. May there be no hell, and if there is, I will see you there. Cheers.
Cheers.